Welcome to Biz Alchemy, a podcast about creating a new business paradigm by women, for women. I'm your alchemical host, Jacquelyn, and I'm going to take you on an extraordinary adventure to create a business filled with ease, fun, spaciousness, and abundance. Hustle, be gone. Let's birth a new way. Hello and welcome back to the Biz Alchemy podcast for an episode 108 to be exact, which is all about 3 ways that your throat chakra impacts your business success. So continuing on with our personal chakras series, the throat chakra, big chakra for entrepreneurs, obviously. Very, very important one. And as you've heard me talk about before, in my current business, that's how I started, was looking clairvoyantly at the throat chakra of female entrepreneurs and seeing where the blocks were in that chakra in particular and how that was holding them back in their business. So the throat chakra is the 5th chakra. The color associated with it is blue, like an aqua blue or a turquoise blue. Once it starts to get darker, it's more up in the third eye energy. Obviously, it's in the throat region, the neck, the shoulders. That's all part of the throat chakra. And it's associated with the element of ether. So it's pretty obvious what the throat chakra is about, isn't it? But I'll just list it anyway. So the throat chakra embodies the energies of communication, communication through language rather than through emotion. Because when you think about it, the throat chakra is the crossroads of the heart and the head. So it serves as a mediator between the emotions and thought. The throat chakra also embodies the energy of creative expression. So it's not just about speaking and writing. It is any creative expression that's been birthed in the sacral chakra and then is expressed out through the throat. It's to do with truth. So speaking with your authentic voice. It's to do with personal integrity, being honest with yourself and standing up for what you believe in. The yin aspect of the throat chakra is listening, which, is vital because this is what enables others to be heard, which is one of the deepest human needs. The thing is, your biz message is expressed through your throat. This is where the essence of the heart of both you and your business is communicated to the world. Okay, so every time you hold back the truth, or you don't express a part of yourself, your throat blocks up, which really just means the vibration of your throat is lowered. And as a result of that, you are either misheard or you're not heard at all. So I think when you move into business, that's when so many stories around your throat chakra come to the fore. You have to address them. Because in many ways, it's a business because you are communicating about your gifts, about your offerings. If they're not communicated, well, then you don't have a business. So when I have a look clairvoyantly at a throat chakra, the stories, beliefs that I commonly see that change the frequency of vibration, there's quite a lot actually. So firstly, fear of speaking up for what you believe is right. For speaking up, sharing your truth. Now, you've heard me talk over and over again about the witch wound. And in fact, I did do a podcast episode on it, episode 40, about is the witch wound sabotaging your business. So I go into this much more deeply there, which helps give you an understanding of why you may have a fear of speaking up. This month in Biz Alchemy Playground, my membership, this month was focused on your true voice. That was our theme through February. And I tell you, it sparks the most conversation out of any of my topics. It's like our calls are not long enough. And the witch wound comes up every time every year when we do this topic, the witch wound comes up because it is so big for so many female entrepreneurs. So please go and have a listen to episode 40 if you want to know more about it. But it is such a big part of why we struggle to speak our truth. So another story in the throat chakra is finding it difficult to be honest with yourself and others. And this can be a bit of a protective thing because maybe we've been punished for that honesty at some point. Maybe we've learned that speaking our truth gets us into trouble. This ties in with the witch wound as well. And so we almost go into this self-protection where we don't even tell ourselves the truth. This causes massive filtering in the throat chakra. It really causes a constriction there. So another way that this can show up is that you're a poor listener. And you may not be a poor listener, but you certainly would recognize poor listeners because poor listeners listen to reply rather than listen to hear the person. I reckon we've all been guilty of that. When someone's talking to you and you've got a story you want to share that's similar, and so you just wait for a breath and then, in you go with your story. And that's listening to reply rather than really listening. You're formulating your response before the person's finished speaking. We've all done it. I'm sure. I've done it. I am much more conscious of it now. And when I do it, I recognize it straight away. So again, that's really causing a lot of denser energy in the throat chakra. So other stories held in the throat chakra are about feeling ignored, feeling misunderstood, fear of being ridiculed. Okay, all of that again ties in with the witch wound, ties in with that fear of speaking your truth. You might struggle to express your thoughts or express your feelings or express your emotions. You might find yourself saying little lies or unnecessary exaggerations. I've caught myself doing that. I'll just exaggerate slightly something just to get a point across, I think often. But afterwards I go, why did I do that? Why did I increase that to 20 when it was actually only 15? Or you know what I mean? I have caught myself doing that. So all of those things cause to constrict the throat chakra more. And another biggie is being overly critical, judgmental. So this can be of yourself, this can be of others, condescending or gossiping. All of that is a denser energy in the throat chakra. So not all those things are necessarily related to business, but if your throat chakra has participated in any of those things at any point in your life or other lives, you might find that there is denser energy in your throat chakra, and that, of course, is going to impact the way you show up and communicate in your business. And in fact, you might even find some of those things get further triggered through your business. Now I'll just talk about 3 ways that some of these stories and beliefs can impact your business. So number 1 on the hit list, perfectionism. Now, I have met many entrepreneurs who confess to being perfectionists. And I don't know if I'm a reformed perfectionist, but I am less of a perfectionist than I used to be. And that I've really had to concentrate on reducing my perfectionism. And this is, this comes through in so many ways, like, I'll just keep tweaking this before I make it public. I still don't have these colors right. Let me just spend another month getting the colors right before I put out this free offer. It's all of this. It's sabotage. It's often sabotage, but it also comes from this overly critical, overly judgmental aspect of the throat chakra. Now, the thing with perfectionism is that it actually disguises your authentic voice. When you just speak here like I am on the podcast, it's pretty raw. If I was to write this as a post, I would go back and go, oh, hang on, that doesn't sound quite right. Let me change that. Oh, no, people won't understand what I've said there. So let me just change it this way. Oh, I've used the wrong conjugation here. Whatever it is, let me change that. When I'm speaking it, it just comes out warts and all. And sometimes when I'm listening to the replay, I'll go, oh my gosh, I used completely the wrong word there. But that's the thing is when it's in this format, there's nothing I can do about it. other than heavily edit it, and I'm not really into that. So that's where perfectionism can take away your authentic voice, because every time you change, every time you rewrite some copy and take out phrases and switch the way you say things, you're actually taking away some of your authentic expression, which changes the energy of what you're saying. So the more time you spend on something, just be aware that perhaps the less authentic sounding it becomes. More of your voice is taken out of it. And as I said, it's holding back your voice from being out there in the world. It's holding you back from sharing your light. It's just such a big self-sabotaging thing disguised as something good very often. But it's not. Well, one, we all know there is no such thing as being perfect. What is perfect? By whose standards? But there is a hell of a lot to be said for being authentic. So on that note, let's go to the second thing. Having a resistance to putting promotional material out to the public, okay? To sharing your invitations, to sharing yourself. So as I said, perfectionism can be a part of this, but this is really not allowing your voice to be heard. There might be fear of judgment, fear of not being good enough. You know, you might say to yourself, oh, you know what? My clients will just find me through word of mouth. They'll just be attracted to me. But if your voice isn't out there, there's nothing to be attracted to, because your clients are waiting to hear your voice. You know, sometimes the opposite of this can sort of happen. Well, I'm just thinking with myself. Occasionally I think, oh my gosh, I'm just putting too much out there. You know, I'm putting too many offers out there. I've got this and that finishes, and then I've got this. And so, but then I go, but hang on, it's a business. And, you know, my type of business, I'm evolving all the time. So I'm coming up with new things all the time. So if I don't share them, well, no one can know about them. No one can come on the journey with me. They have a choice. They don't have to come up on the journey with me on that particular journey. They can wait till my next journey. So, you know, don't hold yourself back thinking I'm putting too much out there. You're a business. Okay, your message, your expression of your business, it has to be heard. It has to get out there. And your throat chakra is the main way that is communicated within our world at this time. So for God's sake, don't deprive them. They want to hear from you. Or else they'll go off and find someone else they want to hear from. But that's perfect. Okay, that's when the vibration changes. But be true to you. Be your truthful, honest expression. Which leads me into number 3, which is not allowing your voice in your copy. You're using someone else's voice. I know we can do this when we first start in business because we're not sure how to express ourselves. We're not sure how to write a post. We're not sure how to create a video. And so we watch others and mimic others, or we go to our coach and they help us, or whatever group we're involved in, or somewhere where our biz buddies hang out. So I appreciate that that's how we get started, but it is so important to look at what you've written or look at the way you're speaking and say, is this my true voice, or am I mimicking others? Would I use that word or phrase? Has my voice been lost in that translation? And so this can happen when you have a copywriter, if you get a copywriter to help you with your website or anything else. I mean, unless they're an amazing copywriter, and there are amazing copywriters, of course, and they will take your voice and use it in the expression, but really make sure that it is your voice. And often we can get caught up, especially if we've come from, you know, maybe a university education or some sort of corporate job. And we have this professional voice, this way of having to write in particular. And that professional voice also clouds your authentic voice. It hides your authentic voice. It's bullshit, really. It really is. It's just, I was going to say, it's almost like really old-fashioned. And I know there's some industries that have that still, but you're not in those industries. You are in your own business where you are showing up as you, where you are sharing your gifts, where people want to hear your true voice, not your professional voice. That completely hides your energy. And it's something that you may have to untrain yourself from. And one way that you can do that, I find, is that when you speak, you tend to speak more in your own voice. So if you're having trouble writing a post or writing your website, because it is doing that, you're really going into professional voice, well then speak it, and then put it through Otter or whatever you use to transcribe, and then get that written out, and then just tweak that a little bit, just tidy it up. But that'll be your true voice. Because the trouble is, if you are mimicking others or getting others to do your writing for you, the energy in that is their energy, which means they're going to attract different people because they're at a different vibration. So if you want people attracted to you who are resonant with your vibration, it must be your voice. It must be your truth. I mean, it just must be you. At the end of the day, it must be you. And as you're on the entrepreneurial journey, that you will change because you will become closer and closer to your essence. Because being the self-development journey that it is, each year you're in business will enable you to shed more and more of what isn't real for you anymore and really find the heart of you. So your voice will change with that. Your voice will become more authentic. You will trust your voice much more. Now, in the podcast series, I have so many episodes around the throat chakra. Episode 33 is feeling safe to speak your truth. Episode 30 is 5 common blocks in the throat chakra of your business. So I'm actually looking at your business's energy body in that one. And way back in episode 10, I talked about transparent communication. So have a scroll through, there are others as well, and just see what stands out for you. Because as I said, the throat chakra really is one of the most important chakras when it comes to business and sharing about your business. And in the next episode, I will share a meditation with you that will help you to shift and transmute some of these stories and beliefs that I've talked about today. And actually, if you are listening to this on the day it's released, tomorrow on Insight Timer, I am doing a live on how the witch wound impacts your business. And on Wednesday, I will be doing that same live on my YouTube channel. So, and that will be recorded. So even if you're listening to this later, you'll be able to find that episode on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Jacquelyn Atkins. And you'll be able to hear me talk more about the witch wound and go through a meditation specifically about the witch wound. So there you go. So much about the throat chakra. I hope you've enjoyed that. I'm sure you've related to some of it because even as I'm saying it, I can still relate to a lot of it. So until next time, enjoy creating alchemy in your biz. Thanks for listening to Biz Alchemy. I'm Jacquelyn Atkins. If you'd love to know more about the energy of business, join my newsletter list at jacquelynatkins.com and check out my receiving channel on Patreon at patreon.com/Jacquelyn Atkins. Until next time, enjoy creating alchemy in your biz.